Chapter 9. Return. 3 years had passed for the two Konohagakure ninjas that had grown so close had seen one another. They had kept some contact throughout his time away but only a little. He was always on the move which made it hard for them. Though, he had sent her a letter saying he was going to be back in the village in 2 days, that was 2 days ago. Tayayu was excited. She wanted to kick his ass for leaving her here bored out of her mind. She felt that they had some feelings that they needed to resolve. When he left there were things that were said that needed to be discussed. Tayayu was impatiently waiting in Tsunade's office with her. Her body had become quite curvy through the 3 years. Her breasts were a good size DDs. Her ass shaped like a heart and she was thin, strong but not showing any muscles. Her hair she had kept at the same length. She continued to wear a gray tunic and back-stretch pants. She tapped her foot impatiently. They were an hour late. Where the fuck are they? Tsunade sighed. She now understood why Naruto was upset when she would irritate Tayayu. Without Naruto to focus her attention on, she decided to torture her instead. Tsunade continued to rub her head. Jiraiya has never been one for punctuality. He is probably holding them up, flirting with every girl that has a pulse. Why, are you nervous to see your lover boy again? Tayayu growled at Tsunade. I never should have let you read that letter. Tsunade smirked at Tayayu, feeling as if she had gotten some revenge for the migraine that the red-headed girl had given her. Tayayu went back to staring at the door while tapping her foot. Where the fuck are you, shithead? Jiraiya walked through the gate with Naruto at his side, Jiraiya with an excited look while Naruto held a monotone expression. Jiraiya looked around the village. Never changes, does it, Naruto? Naruto shrugged as he kept on walking and Jiraiya sighed. Kami, you were so boring on this trip, Naruto. We should have brought Tayayu along for her to beat up on you, that would have amused me. Naruto looked back at Jiraiya then looked forward. Tayayu-chan would have been bored on the training trip. Jiraiya shrugged as they walked forward to the Hokage's office again. Naruto had moved to a black shirt while wearing blue shinobi pants now. His forehead protector was now on a black strap. He had become muscular but not overly muscular. His eyes also had the fox slit in them while remaining blue. Naruto had his new katana on his back with his hands in his pockets as they made it to the Hokage tower. Naruto let Jiraiya open the door. They were late and he knew something would happen to the first one who walked through the door. As Jiraiya pushed open the door, his face was reacquainted to the bottom of Tayuyu's sandal. You're late, shitheads. Naruto watched as Jiraiya went into the wall then looked at Tayayu. Some things never change, Tayayu-chan. Tayayu went to kick him as well but stopped as she looked him over. She blushed then gave him a hit on the head. Shut up, shithead. Naruto smiled at her as the hit was weak, weaker than she used to hit him when they were younger. Jiraiya pulled himself out of the way and looked at Naruto. That was the first time the boy had smiled since they left. Tayayu went to stand behind Tsunade as Naruto and Jiraiya came into the office, closing the door. Naruto looked around the office then at Tsunade. Naruto, was your training good? Naruto nodded his head at her. Yeah, it was good and I feel that it was quite successful. Tsunade nodded her head. Good, let's go and test that theory. Your opponent will of course be Tayayu. Tayayu smirked as she cracked her knuckles and Naruto sighed. I knew she would want a fight as soon as I got back. They all flashed to the training field as Naruto and Tayayu stood across from one another. Naruto looked at her and smiled. Do you want me to try, Tayayu-chan, or do you want to beat me up like old times? Tayayu growled. Don't be fake with me, shithead. Naruto sighed as he scratched his head, closing his eyes. When they reopened they were crimson. Alright, Tayayu-chan, after this I want to know how your 3 years have been though. Deal. Tayayu didn't respond and charged at him, going for a basic taijutsu-style attack. She leapt into the air and went to punch him in the nose. Naruto stood there watching her fly through the air at him and as soon as her hand got close he caught it. His crimson eyes just stared at her. Your punch has gotten stronger, Tayayu-chan. Tayayu followed up by trying to knee him in the balls but he flashed away behind her. Now that is not very nice, Tayayu-chan. Tayayu pulled out a kunai and flung it at him but he just sidestepped the flying kunai. He smirked. This can't be all that you got, Tayayu-chan. Are you holding out on me? Tayayu smirked at him as she got ready to attack him, obviously showing she was indeed holding out. Naruto gave a small smile. Maybe I should make you angry then, Tayayu-chan. Tayayu narrowed her eyes as she charged and sent a barrage of punches at him. Shut up, shithead. Every time he dodged a punch he fueled her embarrassment, making her want to hit him more. You look beautiful, Tayayu-chan. Ducks the right hook. Gorgeous. Blocks the knee with his own. Radiant. Catches the right kick, stopping her. Amazing. Dodges the headbutt. Pretty. Tayuya's face was red. Whether she was flustered from anger or embarrassment she didn't know anymore. She grabbed Naruto's shoulders and pushed him onto the ground and growled at him some more. Naruto just continued to hold his confident smile. Exquisite. Tayuya screamed, I can't take it anymore. Tayuya leaned down and kissed him roughly, making his eyes go wide. When Tayuya broke the kiss she glared at him. I hate you, Naruto. Naruto was still in shock. Well, if that is what happens when I am hated, then you can hate me all you want, Tayuya-chan. Tayuya blushed as she looked at him, then quickly connected a punch to his cheek. You dropped your guard, shithead. Naruto smirked as she looked at him. Or I was baiting you. Naruto quickly turned her so that she was on bottom and pinned her to the ground with a kunai to her throat. Tisk tisk, Tayuya-chan, you got careless. Tayuya laughed sarcastically as she brought her kneecap crashing into his balls. Naruto let out a groan as he fell over onto his side. Tayuya smiled confidently at him. All men are the same, such a obvious weak spot. Naruto just coughed in pain. That was uncalled for. Tayuya-chan. Tayuya smiled as she stepped onto his shoulder. To fucking bad, shithead. Naruto moaned in agony, then he disappeared in white smoke. The real Naruto appeared behind her, scratching the back of his head. Tayuya-chan, that wasn't very nice to knee my clone in his nuts. Tayuya looked behind her, then back flipped over Naruto, pulling out her flute and playing a couple sounds. Naruto's body froze. He couldn't make it move no matter how hard he tried to. Tayuya appeared in front of him. Now I got you, shithead. You're in my genjutsu, so I have completely paralyzed your body. Naruto started to spike his chakra, trying to overpower her jutsu. Tayuya smiled. She could feel her genjutsu getting weaker, but he wasn't going to overpower it anytime soon. Tayuya looked over at Tsunade, who was smiling. When she looked back, Naruto was gone. Tayuya growled as she looked around, then she heard him speak. Wind style. Gale palm. Tayuya was sent flying back towards the tree line, but was caught by Naruto, who pinned her to the ground, making sure to pin her legs as well. Naruto looked at her. Give up, Tayuya-chan. I will let you give me another hate-filled kiss if you do. Both of them blushed at his comment, then Tayuya made a low whistling sound. Naruto looked at her and then he felt his chakra starting to be inaccessible. Naruto kept pushing more and more through to keep his power up, but eventually Tayuya easily overpowered him. Naruto tried to get his chakra to flow through again but was unsuccessful in his attempt. Tayuya smirked. Can't get it up, shithead. That's because I blocked your chakra points. Naruto rose his eyebrow at her, then understood. The whistling, you used the sound to block them, right? Tayuya smiled. That is one of the things I can do. I could completely paralyze you if I wanted to. If I pushed it as far as I could, then I could kill those with weak enough chakra reserves. Naruto smiled as he looked at her with his blue eyes. He would have to use the Kyuubi chakra to be able to get his flow going again. Naruto pushed his chakra through and then looked at her as his eyes turned crimson again. I guess I will have to use my Kyuubi chakra then, Tayuya-chan. Tayuya's smile got larger. I designed this for you. Your Jinchuriki abilities will be of no use. Naruto looked at her, then at his hand, and flashed through his hand signs and formed the final seal. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. Naruto shot a fireball at Tayuya, who was momentarily in shock, then leapt away from him. Naruto landed behind her as she landed, whispering in her ear, looks like I can still use my chakra though, Tayuya-chan. Guess you still have some work to do, huh? Tayuya growled at the blonde-haired man, then went to sweep his leg, and as her leg made contact with his, hers stopped. Tayuya looked at this in shock. This was the first time anyone had stopped something of hers by brute force. Naruto smirked at her as he reached into his pouch and tied her up in ninja wire, fusing his chakra with the wire. Tayuya went to make some noise, but Naruto put his hand on her mouth as he smiled at her. No more making noises, Tayuya-chan. You're too crafty with them. Tayuya glared at him as Tsunade and Jiraiya walked over to them. Jiraiya smirked. Are you two lovebirds done yet? Naruto looked at Jiraiya, then at Tayuya. Are you going to be nice now, Tayuya-chan? Chiyuya's eyes narrowed at him but she slowly nodded her head. Naruto removed his hand then cut the wire with a kunai. Chiyuya instantly connected with a punch to his jaw. Naruto sighed as he laid on the ground. You lied to me, Chiyuya-chan. Chiyuya laughed at him. No, I was baiting you, isn't that what you said earlier, shithead? Naruto sighed again then sat up. Well, at least I won without having to hurt you. Chiyuya glared at him again as he smirked at her. I hate you, shithead. Naruto looked at her. No you don't, I think that you missed me, Chiyuya-chan. Chiyuya looked away with a small blush on her face. Who would miss you, shithead? Naruto looked at her then frowned a little. I missed you though, Chiyuya-chan. Even though you always yell at me and call me shithead instead of my name. Chiyuya's blush got deeper as she growled a little. She had the urge to kiss the blonde bastard again. She had enjoyed it the first time, though it had been a flustered kiss. Naruto pushed himself off of the ground and reached out his hand to her. Need some help, Chiyuya-chan? Chiyuya slowly took his hand and he pulled her off of the ground. Chiyuya looked at him as he gave her a small smile. Well, I am going to go home now. I will see you soon, Chiyuya-chan. See you later, Ba-chan and Jiraiya-sensei. They nodded at him as he looked at Chiyuya again, kissing her forehead then disappearing, leaving her stunned again. She eventually snapped out of it then looked to see him gone again. Bastard did it again. To be continued.